And we're live, back at it again.
Woohoo!
Welcome back to the Go podcast. You are in tune with Getting In.
Mamps.
Woohoo.
Thanks for making it back.
Yeah, well, we're still in the closet.
We're still in the closet.
Took us 2 hours.
Consistent with our podcast, and I
Yeah.
hope that, we get better as we go.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for joining us. We are here to talk about anything and everything. We are the girls of all trades.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of consistency, Karen, I have a quote.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me how you feel
All right.
after hearing this quote.
Okay.
You may have heard it. The thing is, I have so many quotes on my stories and stuff, and I love
Same.
all of them. So maybe from time to time, I'll start off with a quote, okay? Or you can.
Okay.
Probably have the same quotes. We post the same thing, bro. Sometimes we post the same shit. But
yeah. I'll always repost your quotes, or you'll repost mine. Because we post every day.
Yeah, I know. All right. So the quote goes, I have a limited amount of time on this planet, and I'm not going to spend it as a watered down version of myself just so people can like me. So when I read that personally, I'll ask you in a second how you feel. But when I read that, it hit a chord because I feel like I have to double think with everything I do. And let me explain. So, if I post anything kind of controversial,
Right.
not in the sense that, it's political or something, but more along the lines of something that most people wouldn't post.
Right.
Whether it be an embarrassing picture of myself or, anything that goes against the grain of social media, against the mainstream media.
Yeah.
I have to double think. And then I convince myself no, it's because you have to double think that it should be something I should post. And then I'm that motivates me to actually hit the post button. Does that make sense?
I do, because I saw your post yesterday about our announcement that we made.
The Instagram
yeah, and
reel.
you posted it last night that you were kind of contemplating. But I feel the same way, because we're not those people. We love to network and we love to meet other people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we don't like to put ourselves out
there. Yeah.
all the time.
Right.
We're very private in a sense in our personal lives with how we look or how we act. But then our business mind and our professional life, we don't mind putting it out.
Exactly. It kind of clashes in a way, because when you're networking, you want people to see the authentic you.
Yeah.
You don't want them to see, especially us. I mean, there are people out there who are able to create a version of themselves for other people.
Right.
I don't know how they do that.
And they're comfortable with that.
And they're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But to us, and I know especially with us too,
right.
knowing you for, 7+ years, it's just we need to be our authentic selves, or else we feel like we're going to lose ourselves in this other version.
It's not even that. I feel like we accept ourselves to be ourselves in any different type of environment.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, because it's not a lot of people can do that, just to be themselves and be oh, they're not gonna accept me for the way I am. I'm I don't care.
Yeah.
That's just how I come, and it's just we know how to be professional in a sense. We know how to be funny and welcoming. We know how to be so many types of things, right? But it's just the same person at the end of the day. It's not two faces.
I think it also comes down to how people perceive us. And we're just so quick to say, oh my God, if I post this, then this person will think this.
Yeah.
And so then we water ourselves down, like the quote said, and we try to kind of go with the grain, and we try to post things that we think people would like to see. Real talk, who posts natural pictures without even a single drop of makeup? There's always that kind of natural look there that I still want to look nice, I want to look presentable.
Yeah.
But who's willing to embarrass themselves out there?
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy, because it all surrounds that validation. Even though we can say as much as we want, there's always going to be some amount of it there.
That's true.
And it's crazy.
And it makes me think that in a sense, you and I were both leaders and not followers.
Yeah.
Because there's some times where we want to do what everyone's doing or make ourselves feel comfortable, but we're okay with feeling uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because as a leader, I think it's very important that when you are in the front of the pack, or actually not even in the front, you're next to the pack, right? But they are still, the people next to you are still looking up to you to lead them.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So it's just, you know, not knowing what's ahead of you or not knowing how a certain action is going to bounce back, if it's going to be negative feedback, positive feedback, you don't know, but you need to be ready for both. And I think you know, the experiences that we have gone through have helped build that discipline in a way in our lives.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm really hoping that our social media relaxes a bit. I feel like it's very tightly wound.
No,
in a sense.
It definitely won't, and it's because we're exposing ourselves more.
Yeah.
So
right.
we have to post like every day. We have to keep in touch with people who are listening to us, and I want to.
Yeah.
You know, I want to hear people's opinions. I want to talk to them.
Yeah.
I want to see what we're doing good and what we're doing bad, you know?
Yeah.
I want them to know, what do they want to hear from us? What do they want to know?
Right.
And it's stuff that we before weren't comfortable with them knowing, and now we're going to have to. Well,
we're going to have to face, I guess, the consequences of the reality of what of if we're starting a podcast, or if we're networking, if we're going into that field, right? For example, I'm graduating as a computer science major,
right?
But I promise you, Karen, you are not going to see me sitting behind the desk, living my life, withering my life away, coding some nonsense code that is not furthering humanity in any way, but it's helping this big corporation make more money, right? You are never going to see me in that position. So if it's not that position where I'm hiding behind a screen, it is going to be a position where I'm in front of the screen.
Yeah.
You have two choices in life. You can be a follower or a leader. And I chose leader.
Yeah, I agree.
And you chose leader.
And I chose leader.
So here we go.
Leading each other.
We're just leading each other, bro.
Yeah. Well, I like that. I like that concept because I don't think it's something that a lot of people sit with and talk about.
Yeah.
It's just something they just go through with themselves.
And it's just something you discover, like what you're most comfortable with and what you feel like you can excel in.
And I feel like with that, like, you have to learn to like not care about anyone's opinion.
Yeah.
But also like accept everyone's opinion.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
Because we're always so worried about what other people will think about us or what they're going to think and be in fear. And it stops us from doing a lot. I know it stops me all the time. All the time. But I'm like, who cares? Because at the end of the day, we're going to make it somewhere with or without them. We don't, you know what I mean?
Right.
We're always going to find a path to like push that through.
You know what's funny? We're always saying like, what are people going to think? Or like you said, like what, you know, these people, those people, right? All these people. Who are these people though?
Right, yeah.
Real talk, who are these people that are so famous in the brown culture life right now? Log kya kenge?
Yeah.
Lokani ki kehna?
Yeah.
It's mind blowing to me. I'm like, who are these people? Can you explain? Can you just list them out?
Yeah.
I need names because at this point I'm fed up because it's just at this point it's basically society, right? Like if we're really thinking about
society, or it just comes down to like reputation.
Reputation, right? Everyone is so comfortable being fake with themselves, right? I mean, at the end of the day, if you're pleasing someone else, you're not true to yourself.
Yeah, you don't even know the real you.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get to, right? That you're not true with yourself. So if people are willing to be fake with themselves, then, you know, whose life are you living?
Yeah.
Are you living society's life or are you living your own life?
Your parents' life.
Your parents' life.
Your spouse's
right?
life.
Your spouse's life.
Yeah.
So these are things that you got to consider, and these are the things you got to be okay with giving up while living a life and making daily decisions.
Yeah.
If I chose not to post this, if I chose not to do this, if I chose to wear this instead of this outfit, right? All of these things connect back to am I doing this for myself?
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
And that's and it comes down to that.
100%.
So yeah, I mean, these people don't matter at the end of the day. Because if you think about it down the line, they're going to be on their own path, on their own journey.
Yeah, they have their own shit to worry about.
Their own shit to worry about.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't be the ones, I guess, distracting them from that?
I don't know the term. I learned this in a psychology class,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a term where if even if you're at the gym, if you're walking down the street,
Mm-hmm.
even if you're in class and you're doing something, right?
Mm-hmm.
You feel like everyone is watching you when everyone's just doing their
Their
own
own
thing.
thing.
And there's a specific term for it. Like even like sometimes when I'm at the gym, I'm like, shit, I kind of don't want to do this workout because I feel like everyone's gonna stare at me. But I'm like, dude, everyone's focused on their own workout.
Right.
Everyone's on their phones, whatever they're doing, watching their Netflix while on the treadmill, whatever it is, right? So I'm like, okay, they're just gonna do their own shift. They're gonna look at me. Okay, they're gonna look at me for 5 seconds and then look at someone else.
You know what's so funny? Like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because we are naturally self-centered people.
Right. Yeah.
Naturally.
And you're like, oh my god, the spotlight's on me. Like who is gonna be watching you?
It's human nature. No, for real, it's human nature.
Right.
That's crazy because even like I was thinking about the other day and I'm like, we are naturally self-centered people. We like attention. We like when people notice things about us.
Yeah.
Right? We like interaction and all of these things. Realistically, even the most introverted person in the world will go crazy if they do not have human interaction, if they do not socialize.
And that's like, this is kind of off topic, but it has to do with like, you know how for us it's the conveniency. Like we have DoorDash, we have Postmates, we have the ATM, we have grocery shopping that can be sent to your door, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like in that sense too, you also lose that sense of yourself where it's just like, man, I wish I could talk to a human being.
The other day, where was I? Oh, I went to get yerba. I went to get some yerba. The one that you were drinking today. I bought like a bunch of yerba last night to fuel my study sessions and whatnot. But listen, so I went up to the lady and there was nobody there. I was at the CVS.
Self-checkout too, yeah.
There is self-checkout, but I went up to the lady.
Wait, at CVS?
Yeah, there is self-checkout at CVS.
Oh, wow, I did not know
Yeah,
that.
honey, it's
like CVS is so small.
It's infiltrating the system, my dude.
CVS, you only need like 2 cashiers and you're set.
You know, you'd be surprised.
Right.
I could have done two things. I could have gone in there, put my stuff down, the usual, hello, how are you? I'm well, thanks, right? But I went in there and I'm like, no, I'm gonna talk to her. Well, I didn't think about it too much. I wasn't just like, oh, I'm gonna talk to her about what? You know, like I didn't plan it out.
Yeah.
But I was in a good mood and I'm like, this person is standing behind this desk for their whole shift and, you know, they're not talking to anyone.
Yeah.
Realistically, they're having that same exact conversation on loop with every customer they're talking to.
That's true, yeah.
Where, how does it go? It goes, hi, how's your day going? Oh, it's good. How about you? It's going great, thanks. Do you want a bag? Yeah. Do you want a receipt? Okay, have a good day. Right? And it just goes on loop. I've been in, I guess, quote unquote retail because, you know, I've worked at my dad's store like so many times, right? But even then, I'll try to make conversation with customers because, mama, bruh, you don't meet that many people every day. Every single day, you probably meet, like, realistically, right? Unless you go shopping every single day. But you see the same people every day. It's your family, it's your friends, right? And then it's like all these like little random people, these like really irrelevant people here and there with when you're shopping, when you're buying food, whatnot. So in my head, I'm just like, this person is going through this scripted loop, you know, over and over and over. Let me just talk to her. And I said, you know, how are you doing today? And she was like, oh, I'm doing well. I'm like, oh, was it busy? You know, I tried to think from her perspective, like she's standing here the whole day. Was it busy for her as a worker?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use my Apple Pay. And I'm like, this is so convenient. Like I'm such a forgetful person.
Yeah.
This has saved my life. And she's like, I haven't gotten it yet. And so we just start talking about like whatever technology and stuff. At the end of the day, we were laughing. Like by the end of that transaction, we were cracking jokes with each other. This is a random person who did not seem like my age. She seemed more like middle, like maybe like 35, 37. She seemed like almost hitting that 40 peak. But she, you know, we were literally connecting.
Yeah.
And it's just like I was able to actually have a very fulfilling conversation with her about just small things that we're all going through in this life right now. Because she's been going through the same script and I want to change that.
Yeah, just like that little like bit of interaction and happiness and those, you know, endorphins or whatever you get, serotonin, you know, it's just like it makes a person's day because there's some times where I'm like, I'm having a bad day, but someone will talk to me just for a little bit and they'll just like actually genuinely care. Or even when I'm having a good day, I have great conversations when I go out with other people and you start to see all this positivity in this world, you know?
Yeah.
So the thing is, though, it's not going to be here for that long.
It's
if
not.
you think about it.
There
are people who do push that sense of interaction, but a lot of it, the conveniency of doing shit by yourself.
Right.
Like, dude, there's this girl I was watching. She ordered her own Tesla online, like a used one.
Okay.
And then they just got it delivered to her. She was like, "Oh, you can just go open it by yourself off of your phone."
Wow.
Like, when you make a sale with someone.
Yeah.
When
right.
that special moment when they hand you the key.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, right?
Spending that moment with another human being.
Yeah.
And them being there.
Yeah. But then next thing you know, you wake up in the morning, it's already in your parking spot. Oh my gosh. And all you have to do is just connect with your phone, approve everything, and it'll unlock by itself. The grocery store, where you just walk in, you have your cart, it's already checked out. It'll charge you on your Amazon account, and you just walk out.
So we were just in Seattle, actually.
Yeah, we saw that.
I think we were right outside of one of like those establishments by Amazon.
That one, it had like, it was everything in the store was like the 4-star rating and up.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was like the good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't just like
anything and everything. Because that would be a fat warehouse, dude.
Yeah.
Because Amazon is like endless at this point.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. I think everyone's underestimating the power of human interaction at this point.
No.
They're kind of underestimating the power of, actually talking to another person and going about their day, because we're going to be less social.
Uh-huh.
You know what I think, like, how this is going to impact the future? I think that people are going to start forgetting their manners, for the lack of a better word, right? They're not going to be practicing, like, the social courtesies enough. And so, I feel like, at least as the generations go on and on, I feel like even the kids are not going to grow up with the proper manners and social behavior.
We already see that. I already see that personally, like with some of my cousins or some of my, like, if I see my friends, like little siblings, like, so when we went on our trip and your brothers were so, like, I got along with them so well, I was surprised. That surprised me. So I feel like we already see that in a sense, where it's just like the younger generation, they don't know how to, like, interact with other people. And one thought I just had in my mind is, like, if you notice, ever since we've been on our lockdown and in the pandemic, have you seen the rate of depression?
Yeah.
And that's because you couldn't go out.
You couldn't
see other people. You couldn't even see your family. You couldn't go out in public.
Even in your own lives. Like, it's driving everyone crazy.
Yeah.
Because they're not able to be that social. Even the introverted people.
Yeah.
I saw memes, like, everywhere, how introverts were, like, celebrating and they were just having the time of their life because, it's COVID. Like, it's the pandemic and, there's, like, stay-at-home orders and stuff, and everyone's like, yeah, I'm chilling.
Right.
But to what extent? At some point, you are going to go crazy.
Yeah.
Anyone's going to go crazy. It's not natural.
So I think it's just so crazy that not a lot of people see that, because they're like, oh, maybe I'm just like, that's not the cause of it. Maybe it's just, oh, I just need to take pills, or I just need to, you know what I mean? Maybe I just need to have good hobbies, but it's just not that. It's just you're secluding yourself from the world, and you don't even know it, because you order your food, it's right at your door. You order your grocery, it's right at your door. Anything you want to shop for, you go on Amazon, it's right at your door.
That routine just becomes so mundane.
Yeah.
And, like, lifeless. And we, as humans, like, we naturally need different kinds of interactions in our life.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that, finding a hobby that you really, that you get really passionate and excited about. I'm not going to say depression. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to say this will cure your depression, right? Because I'm not a doctor. Yeah. Obviously, I don't know. But I feel like there is a lot more to us as humans than just going to the pharmacy, getting pills, popping them in, and saying, I will be cured. Because that definitely, Karen's nodding her head, shaking her head, like, that is
a topic for a whole other day. Because
I have strong feelings against it.
I do too.
Very strong feelings.
I feel like it becomes a full circle, because when I was thinking, when you told me to do this podcast with you, it's not only a sense of, oh, we have personality, we can talk forever. It's kind of like, I know that other people can relate, and I want people to see like our perspective, and I want to hear other people's perspective too. Because at the end of the day, it comes with communicating, because everyone goes through shit differently. Everyone sees things different. They feel it differently. You know what I mean? So it's just like everyone at the end of the day has gone through most likely the same mutual shit. But
we always, you know what's funny? Because we always feel like we're alone.
Yeah.
In things.
Yeah.
We feel like we're the only people in the world experiencing XYZ.
Yeah, but in reality,
even though it's probably every neighbor around you.
Yeah.
It's probably even your siblings who don't even show you that they're going through something. Because of course, like a sibling role constitutes, you know, not being a therapist.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's just like boundaries, I guess, that siblings don't cross. But you know, it sucks that everyone thinks they're alone.
Yeah.
But in reality, if we were to just talk to each other, we would know that we're experiencing the same thing, except in a different kind of environment.
Yeah.
It's the same stuff, but different timing, different day, different person, different perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is insane. But I'm kind of really glad we're doing this, and I think it will keep pushing us to do this podcast, not only for ourselves, not to just vent, but to have people, other people who listen, just to open up to us, or just to be able to, oh, like, shit, oh, they went through that too, oh, they feel this way too, like,
you know the number you know the number one complaint that I get from my family, or even my friends, my ex-friends, I should say. We don't talk anymore for a reason too. You'll know why.
Right.
They say I talk too much, or I do too much.
Okay.
But I talk too much, right? Yeah. There is nothing wrong with talking as long as it's productive. There is such thing as productive conversation.
Yeah.
And there is such thing as babbling on.
Oh, I totally get it.
What drama, Kim Kardashian, keeping up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I feel like in a sense you have people in your life where you're there just to talk nonsense.
Exactly.
And talk about other people, and you just waste your time, which is also for another day. Right. But you have people like you and me that look at the shit we talk about, it's stuff that actually really happens.
Right.
What we went through, and like what we're gonna do in the future, like you know, how to make better of the situation, or just understand where you and I both came from.
I think that's one thing that a lot of people can't understand, is that in order to even have a conversation, in order for two different people, because we are not that different realistically, right? Yeah. We have a lot of similarities, but for two different people to sit down and have a conversation, they need to put aside their differences.
Oh yeah.
That's like the key, is to be able to be so open-minded that knowing this person in front of me has gone through something completely different than I have, and that's okay.
And you know what? Another thing is that actually sparks me is when you're saying about people being open-minded, there's a lot of people who are not, and because social media gives us a voice, there's so many other platforms that give everyone a voice, so they become opinionated, and they always think that their shit matters the most.
Yes.
So there's not a lot of open-minded people here nowadays, is because they're so focused on what they care about, what's important to them, or what I think is right, and they're never willing to open up.
And because they have followers, because they have fans, they are now heightened onto this platform thinking, wow, I am right. Look, I have validation from...
Even if it's just one person that agrees with them, they're like, oh shit, I was right.
I was right. Yeah, and they have that, like, you know, that ego inflating.
Yeah, you don't even have to be like a big person on social media. You can just be like, do you see all these people who cause arguments in comments for no reason?
Oh yeah, the trolls.
Yeah.
Oh my god, don't get me started.
What good do you have?
Dude, so let me tell you, there was this there's a wedding that went viral because the girl, she her reception dance, I think it was their reception dance. She did it with her girls, she did it with her boo.
Right.
She was okay, it wasn't like twerk, but it was more like a very outgoing dance, okay, as for lack of a better word. And you know, and she was like, I forgot, you know that song, like, what you know about me, what you know, you know, like
I think I saw it.
Yeah. And then like then the husband was so into it and everything. It was a COVID wedding for sure.
Right.
I think this was posted last week.
Okay.
But oh my goodness, I saw that and I was just like, wow, you guys went against the grain and you did what you felt like doing, what your heart, you love dancing, you love expressing yourself, and you did that today, and you guys were so into it, right? It's your wedding. They pay so much And they're like, you know what? Like, we're gonna get our money's worth and we're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Period.
Right.
So I posted on there and I was just like, you guys, I forgot what I said, but I was just so happy for them. I think I said, all the haters who are in the comments right now are jealous because they can't shake their hips like that.
Yeah.
Dude, real talk, bruh. They were like, she was Shakira up there. She was shaking it. Okay.
Yeah.
She was amazing. So yeah, I posted and I got so many haters. So many haters.
Like,
they're
what
you're
they say?
wrong.
Oh.
You know that one meme with the cat and the lady and they're like yelling, like pointing at each other and like.
Oh yeah.
I was the cat, and I'm just like, you need to chill, bruh. You need to chill. I honestly, I was trolling them back with like really funny comments.
They're all keyboard warriors. They don't know. Yeah. They'll talk to you when it comes to being on the screen, but in person, watch, they're probably like someone who doesn't even.
I'll be like, bro, shake your hips right now. You can't do it. That's why you're jealous. You're jealous right now, bro. Dance battle me.
Oh man.
But
like, what's it to you?
Tenuki, I know. Like, they're honestly, they were an attractive couple too. So maybe this guy is just sitting single.
Yeah.
Can't find no girl.
He's just mad that he can't shake his hips.
He's a hater, bro. He's
mad that his hips lie.
His hips are, they're liars. Both sides of them, they're just liars.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think we went over our time. I don't know how long these podcasts should be. I really don't.
Yeah.
So this is something that we're gonna have to learn because.
But this podcast went from corner to corner and went to.
Yes.
Yeah, it went through so much.
Glad we had this talk.
Yeah.
I really do want to open up a platform to be able to reach out to our viewers at least, because I really want to know what you guys think about these things.
Yeah.
Where are you at in your life, right? Because Karen and I have seen all of these different types of personalities unfold in front of us.
Yeah.
But where are you? Because sometimes you don't even notice the people around you until you start actively thinking, how does this person act?
Yeah.
How does this person talk? What conversations does this person bring to the table?
Yeah.
Right? So I do encourage you guys to go out and kind of start like looking out and seeing what kind of person is, bringing what kind of conversation and how productive that conversation is to your life. Yeah. Right. But yeah, I think we should be good to wrap up. Karen's giving me the eye. Like, sis, what do we do?
She's just going on her tangent. I'm over here ready to like
tangents.
Yeah.
Wrap things up.
Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in for this week's episode.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.